Tell me when.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so hello, how is everybody doing? We're here with Dr. Gerald Bassleer, the creator of BASSLEER BioFish Food. And this interview is, hello, doctor. And this interview is basically specifically for pleco fish keepers, but also for other fish keepers on explaining on different types of foods and questions that we breeders and hobbyists have for Dr. Bassleer as well. And so he's going to explain the different things that we've already, the predetermined questions that we've asked. And if there is other questions that come to mind throughout the video, I will also ask them. But I will let Dr. Bassleer take over now and continue with the interview.
Okay, thank you, Malik, for introducing me. And I'm proud to be part of the Canadian area, Toronto. It's far away from Belgium.
We love you here, huh?
Yeah, well, Canada is far away and not possible to fly these days. But anyway,
no.
Luckily we have the internet, and I will try to answer the questions you posed me, and I hope this will give some answers to your viewers. And maybe afterwards questions come, and in the next coming days I can try to reply to the questions, because sometimes you give some information and then some issues remain unanswered orthologically. It's I give so much info, and maybe some people are still puzzled. Hey, I don't get the right answer, but thank you for the many questions. And I will start showing my screen sharing. I will see how we manage here. Well, Malik, as I promised you, I was planning to give you some answers on your questions posed by you and by your followers. So I will start showing my my screen with the PowerPoint presentation. And I hope this will help you to understand what I'm talking about, and why you're sharing these ideas about fish. And fish food for specific fish, well, this is a subject many people ask me, because do we need that? And I will try to explain in a few examples with my experience as a fish pathobiologist, working with fish diseases and fish health. In more than 40 years, I've been looking for solutions. What kind of food I have to give? And I had a fish house with 1,000 aquaria during 25 years, and feeding fish, many kinds of fish. We had about 250 different varieties, and I was looking for a good food with good solutions for good health, good growth, but particularly for prevention of diseases and control of diseases, because the fish food should have some ingredients which helps the fish, and avoiding the use of antibiotics or other kind of medications. So the questions you asked, is why the Bassleer food, why did I make it? What is better? And what should I give to the carnivore plecos? And many other questions like the baby food, the nano food, is it dusty? In a mixed tank, how should we feed, all different kind of fish, and the wood-eating plecos, what to do with that, and the ancestors and the hip ancestors, they need more meat. What about the biofish food? What can they do? And if we have a mixture of 3 types of plecos, what should I recommend? So I will try to explain with my PowerPoint the answers on these questions, and how can the food stay in the water for a long time? Is that possible? Well, I try to answer. Well, fish food for certain fish. Is there a question raised already? Many people do that because people selling fish food for guppies, and people are selling discus food or catfish food, like the discus people feeding a lot of mosquito larvae. Is that the best food? Well, to be honest, if I feed my fish tank, and I'm feeding my fish tank and I'm feeding the angelfish food, does it mean that the cardinals are not able to touch it? Or if I feed my neon tetras and the corridors are not able to eat on the food of the neon tetra, or the ancestors cannot eat the food of the angelfish, or the same for marine fish, if the Ecatourus is not allowed to eat the food of the clownfish. Well, I tell you, in nature, it's a survival of the fittest. And in nature, they have to take what they can get. And I will give you examples of studies which have been done by people specialized in resourcing the sources of the fish food. related to the health of certain fish in nature. And here is the guppy studied in Trinidad, where these original, the guppies are coming from. And there is a comparison made between two rivers, the Naranjo River and the Tacariga river. And they find out that those two rivers had different habitats, different kind of food sources. And because of different kind of food sources, the guppy had no chance then just to eat what was offered to them by the river. They had no chance to wait that somebody feed them or to change the habitat. They just had to explore what was available in the river. And in the river Naranjo, there was more invertebrates than there was in the Tacariga River. And less filamentous algae. More in the Tacariga River, there's more filamentous liver and unicellular algae and diatom. So it is a different habitat. And what does that mean for the guppy? How the fish survived? Well, they survived, but what was typical for the survival, that those fish had a different gut system developed. If you see here the amount of invertebrates proportion in the diet, you see a large amount of invertebrates, and here is the length of the gut. And the longer the gut is, the longer the gut is here on the left, that means the fish has been eating many more algae food and less invertebrates. And if they have a lot of invertebrates, they have a much shorter gut length. So that means the fish can adapt. The fish adapts during its lifespan, and also during the dry or the wet season, the fish can adapt to a diet which is offered to them. So extra green food, a longer gut, like you see with many ancestries. The Mylosoma, you know, it's called maybe in Canada also a kind of silver dollar type, you know, it's the red hook or the Mylosoma, many different kinds. And here they show that the food is changing depending on the season in the rivers. This is the nature. The nature controls what's available. And you see here the left bar, you see that's the food that's been given. Well, let's go back here. That's been given as a plant material, the white bar. And the black bar is the fruits and the seeds that I love to eat. And then the other bar here, this one, the big one here, at when the low season is the bar where the fish can get insects. So you can see that the insects, for instance, they eat a lot of insects in the low season and nothing in the rising or the high season. And in the rising and the high season, you can see they eat more predominantly fruits and seeds. So you can see changing food depending on the season. So that's typical for many fish in the wild. The discus, I show you the same thing for discus, it's adaptation, depending on the high water or the low water season. In the yellow, I show the high water season, where you can see changes in eating vegetable waste products. You can see that the discus, most of their diet, between 50 and 80%, is flowers, fruits, seeds, leaves, vegetable products. Where are the mosquito larvae for these discus? Well, it's only a small part, you know. They eat also algae depending on the season, more in the low water season, and they eat more of aquatic invertebrates and worms in the low season, and they eat more insects and crustacea. Here is the mosquito larvae. Only about 20% to eat of mosquito larvae in the high water season, and hardly anything in the low water season. So this is the diet of the discus, changing depending on the season. And a study interesting for you guys, the people who are having ancestors, Pterygoplichtis, Loricaridae, you see the study of the gut system of different situations where Pterygoplichtis, you know, Pterygoplichtis, I think it's you call it the mosaic pleco. Well, you can see here the wild, that's the microvilli, the gut system, which is different formed than when it's a wood-eating system where it's living in, or an algae diet where it's living in, or a starvation system when it's a large shortage of food. So you can see the adaptation of the gut to the food source, which tells us lessons that the fish have an ability to adapt to the food. So our biofish food is mainly meant for you to be 100% natural, because the nature provides the ingredients you have, and the nature provides a balanced ingredients. It can be different low and high season, but in aquarium we don't have a high season or a low water season or a wet season or dry seasons, hopefully not. But we can provide a balanced diet, and that balanced diet consists in our ingredients of Scandinavian marine wild fish, krill, algae, cereals, vegetables, vitamins, trace elements, and minerals. And those are all very well digestible. Particularly the wild fish and the krill are very good amino acids, very good digested, so less waste and very good absorption by the gut system. Also, because the marine wild fish have the best protein ingredients which are necessary for all fish, freshwater and marine. We did 25 years of testing into prevention and control of fish health here working in my fish house. And we know that the food is suitable for freshwater and marine fish and suitable for all Loricaridae and ancestries and collet. And why did I make a granulate food? Well, because the granulate food contains more quality. You can produce a granulate with the best ingredients, which is better than flake food or frozen and live food. And we can produce different sizes of pellets, because the pellet size you give is depending on the size of the mouth of the fish. The larger the fish, the larger you can give them in pellets in different water zones. The smaller pellets float longer, and the larger sizes sink faster. So for the bottom fish, it's easier to give the bigger sizes. And we add probiotics, prebiotics, phytobiotics, which are freshly coated after the production of the granulate. And we know aquaculture, which produces food fish, they only give granulate food because it's a guarantee free of microbes. And there is a risk when you're feeding live and frozen foods to introduce microbes or pathogens to your fish. So some people have experience with that. And I think, Malik, you too had experience by feeding live and frozen food. That is a risk for health of your fish. Here I show a small video of our granulates. What we do, we coat the phytobiotics after the production. And here is a hobbyist who mixes the regular, medium, and large in one can. So he can feed the different sizes of fish and the different type of fish with one can of food. Well, this is his way of working. And on the video, we show the enlargement of our pellets. You can see what is coated on top of the granulates. See, here is the XXL, the green, which is perfect for you guys with hip ancestries. And you can see that's our green, it's chlorella and moringa. It's perfectly coated on top of the granulates. So the ingredients, what the fish need for their health, are preserved. If you cook it, if you prepare it in a flake food, or you prepare it yourself in a cooking meal or a heated meal, those ingredients, the valuable ingredients, are destroyed. And that's not what you want to have. You want to have a perfect quality food. Well, granulate food is good for the different kind of fish in your tank. So you have different kind of fish and feed them granulates. They distribute, they sink, they float. So all fish, like here the clown loach, they have less competition with the rainbow fish, which are kept in the same tank. And yet we can show you here my cardinal tetras. They are 12 years old and they have been fed only biofish food for the 12 years. That's how long I can keep my fish. And it's the only food I did get during these 12 years. And when plecos can make a choice, well, you can see the cucumber. Well, they like it, but look what they like more. We've been feeding them our biofish food, chlorella. You can see they love it. And that's the choice the fish make, because those fish prefer the choice of their food. If they can make the choice, you can see here that they made the choice between a green cucumber or a granulate food, or Dr. Bassleer biofish food, chlorella. Well, we have different kinds of biofish food, and what is typical for oral food, all contain probiotics pediococcus, which is a bacteria that makes the gut flora working well. And you know, the gut flora is important for the health of the fish, for the good digestion, and also for immunity. if a good flora is there, there is a good protection against microbes. We have it in regular. We have 40 for immunostimulantia. We have the chlorella algae with this antioxidant, very good for the Plecosa Loricaridae, and one of the best for your guys with who need extra green food is the green, which contains moringa and the chlorella. We have the garlic, which has healing properties, and the aloe, herbal. So we have many different kind of food. I will show you at the end my link on my video on my website, where you can find more details on the different kind of food, what it can do for your fish and help. I will let you know, our feed are not medicated food. Those are food with phytobiotics, which are natural products and not medications. But I tell you, they help the fish to repair, they help the fish to prevent diseases, and they help the fish to fight off parasites and bacteria. The last one we produced is Fuco, is an extract from marine algae to help control bacterial infections. And we have the cavar from the difficult eaters. So we have many different kinds, and well, I will continue later on, and I'll let her pose you a question now. So, okay, thank you.
Okay.
What do you use, Malik? What do you use?
I use the BioFish regular.
Okay.
On every day, and then if I bring new fish, I feed the garlic.
Right.
Just
yeah.
Because I don't like to deworm my fish unless I see a problem. But if I have new fish coming in, I quarantine them and I feed garlic for about 2 weeks, and then they clear out, and then I don't really have to put medicine because of that. And I haven't gotten a sick fish. Like even when I had ick outbreak last year, the new fish that I brought in had ick. Some of it got transferred to my tanks, but the older fish I had that were eating Dr. Bassleer didn't get sick.
Okay, well, thank you for showing me an example how you did well.
Oh yeah, and that is when I realized that moment I saw the difference between the fish that were not eating Bassleer, that was not my fish, that came in with the disease, and my fish that didn't have the disease but they were healthy. And usually when the disease comes, ichthyoparasites usually transmit to all the plecos. It's very, very detrimental. And my adult fish didn't get sick. I lost a few babies, but
yeah, because you took prevention measures, you know, and a lot of people should think about preventing. When you have new fish coming in, make sure you take the necessary steps. Even certainly when you introduce them to your breeding facility or to your home tank, you know. I'm a profound promoter of a quarantine tank, you know, a small tank.
I keep them quarantined for 8 weeks at least.
Yeah. I'll tell you, and then you can see if they're eating well. You can use specific feeds, you know, I feed them on, and you see where they're eating well, they have good color. Then you can introduce them to your other fish. Yeah, well, that's smart, you know. But unfortunately, not many people do that.
I know, and then they're always like, "Why is my fish dying?"
Yeah.
Like, did you put new fish in? They're like, "Yes."
Yeah. Well.
And the thing I noticed also, I have fish that are older. Like I have tetras that are 5-6 years old. Usually, especially for the Colombian tetras and stuff, 5 years, they usually don't make it past that. But now my fish are passing 6 years, some of them, and they're still breeding, and I'm feeding your food to them. So I'm seeing a difference in my own facility.
Oh, nice to hear that you use the practice of my food, you know.
I love my fish, you know.
Yeah. Well, we know we have a very growing market, you know, because people of you who are doing it in practice and telling it to everybody, and because we are very small in investing in marketing, you know, we don't make big flyers, not big advertising, but the word of the hobbyist is the best. I wish the fish could speak.
If they could speak, they will ask for Bassleer. I honestly, I tell everybody. Yeah. If they ask me, what do you feed? I say Bassleer, and I call it Pleco Viagra.
Yeah.
I put the food, my fish breed.
Yeah. Where do you get the food from? From America, USA?
Germany.
Oh, you get it from Germany. Oh, okay. You can bring it into Canada.
No, well, right now I'm getting it from I forgot the name of the website. I will put the link.
Okay, don't worry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can get it. Yeah.
I can get it. Yes, but to Canada, yes.
Yeah, because America has an agent, but I think still difficulty to bring it into
Lou,
Canada. Eh?
yes, he told me shipping to Canada, it's small orders. They can send it like one container, but like if it's like a larger amount, they won't pass through customs here. So
right. Okay. I'm happy you can get it. That's important, you know.
Yes.
That's important.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
Are you planning to make a paste food, like for like the fry, you know, like something paste or something like that, or is that a possibility?
No. The problem is we did testing with a paste food.
Okay.
And we find out that by making it a paste, the longevity, the stability of the food was very easy to get bad, or
Yes.
getting fungus or bacteria. And this is very delicate for baby, you know, it's just that.
Yeah.
So what I can recommend, you know, we have the fine baby granulate. I will talk to at the end about it. We have a baby food, which is a granulate. You can make it wet. I put it together. Because they are fine granulates. If you put them in the water, they stay like granulate for 10 hours. So the fish can keep eating on it. And it's made for baby fish. And it's called our baby nano. It's made for the baby fish. And you can distribute it so the fish can eat it all by themselves. Or you can stick it together. But we tried with our kind of food as a paste food. But you have to add extra gelatin and other products. I don't like. It's not good for digestion. No.
Yeah,
no.
Agreed.
That's the reason why. Okay, I will finish my my PowerPoint here. So there we go. And then see then we have a shrimp food, of course, and then we have the baby, which are the granulates for the baby fish. I will talk at the end about your question. Well, bacterial infections in many cases, maybe you have the experience like the white patches here, or the swollen belly here on this L14 here, and the big Popeye, you know. Usually it comes from live or frozen fish food, you know. If you use frozen or live food, make sure you have ability to cook it or to sterilize it, because do you feed any frozen or live food, Malik?
No, not at all. I've stopped now 6 years almost.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't need to. People think it's necessary, but it's a risk. It's a risk. Although there are good foods, I cannot say it's bad, but it's reducing a risk, you know. And then you have these kind of problems, you know.
The pathogens that can come from feeding live food, especially for plecos, like my friend gave me blackworms to feed them, and I tried the first time, and I realized, you know, after I feed the food maybe 2-3 times, I will have deworm my fish, because there's all the other nematodes and different pathogens that come with the live food. So I after that, I said no more.
yeah. If you use live food, you have to find a way to disinfect it or to clean it or what else. But it's difficult. Yeah.
The one live food that I do feed, I hatch my own Artemia.
All right. Yeah.
I hatch it myself, so it's sterile. It's in a special container. And I buy it from a reputable company, so it's very perfect. And I feed it to like baby angelfish and stuff. Very rarely I feed a little bit to baby plecos, but usually for plecos I feed your food predominantly.
Yeah, but it's good you're taking care of a good source of baby brine shrimp, you know, and then you make a special containers for it, and that helps you to solve these issues. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, some remaining answers you put forward to me, you know. About the baby food, here it is, you know. Well, that baby nano food, you know, well, it's a real granulate. It's no powder dust. It's a real granulate. And that's why it's rather expensive, because the production way of making such a small granulate, it's a high cost, but it's a granulate, really. It's a granulate. We made it particularly for people breeding small tetras, baby tetras, discus breeders, and also Hippancystrus breeders using it. So, but you can try it as a paste. Try it.
I have the baby nano formula. I've only tried it. Well, I breed tetras sometimes, and I try it with them, with the baby tetras, and it works great. And I have tried making paste with it with spirulina powder, but I didn't make the paste by itself. So I'm going to try it today, and I'm going to feed it to my ancestors.
And in the baby nano, we included chlorella powder. 5%. So it's
That's
great
good.
for the baby Loricaridae, you know.
Okay.
And how long can the food stay in the water? Well, the food remains a stable granulate for many hours, up to 10 hours. So the fish can eat it during 10 hours, but it all depends on the temperature and the water flow.
Okay.
The higher the temperature and the higher the water flow, of course, the more quicker that granulate will fall apart. But you
Yes.
can see it if you feed it, you know, it can stay a long time. And some of your catfish maybe are night eaters. No, there's some like to eat at the night. So you can see in the morning if you have been feeding too much and there is still some left in the morning. Well, you have been feeding too much.
Great.
But that's something I want to mention. That's a problem with many of the hobbyists. They're feeding too much.
I agree with you on that.
Overfeeding is a big problem. And
Yes.
people think the fish need to be fed 3 times a day. No, depending. If you're a breeder, yes, the fry. But
Yes.
normally 2 times, 1 time in the morning and in the early afternoon. And not too late in the evening, except for the night eaters. You know, that's
Right.
in our hobby, people are overfeeding the fish. That's a problem.
I think me and Thomas talked about it. He feeds a lot. He feeds a lot more than I do, and he thinks I feed less. And I told him I don't overfeed my fish.
Well, in the pet shops, you know, you can ask free samples. You can try to get free samples from Germany. You know, you can distribute to people in little bags, all different
Okay.
kinds. Well, you have the choice. The choice as the fish keeper can make the choice of the good food, and that makes the choice for the fish health. So you're responsible, you know. Aquarium Münster is our international distributor, also in America. And if you need more info, well, we have our website here. And when I click on it, see, do you share it? Yeah, you see it's appearing?
Yeah.
Okay. See, we have many information here. I have some videos on here in English on the food, and here explains all the different kind of food, you know, what it's good for. There is even some scientific information and studies published here. So you click on there and you see scientific information, why did we make a food, or where these are my resources, and also information on the aloe vera. Scientific studies done aloe vera are all published in this website here, in this page. So
I will put the links to all these sites as well on the bottom.
So and this explains all the food, you know, like here the baby nano here explains when you click on it.
I'm actually not seeing the slides. I'm only seeing but I like
Okay, well, let's see if I get out of here. Okay.
And you have a YouTube channel, yes? Gerald Bassleer.
Yeah, I have my YouTube channel. Let's see if a guy is new share. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Technical difficulties, yes? Yeah, there we go.
You see my thing? Yeah, you see my website?
I see your web. I don't see the actual website, but I see the link to the website. I see my YouTube.
All right. Okay, that's the links you can use. And well, that's about it, what I have to explain. So I don't know, Malik, any more questions you think are left open for you that you think might be interesting?
One of the questions that came to mind, this is actually just something that I thought of as you were explaining the overfeeding aspect.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't overfeed my fish. I use, for example, I have my zebra pleco tank. My main breeding tank has 14 adult fish. And I put 1 spoon of your food, like from the same spoon, the small round spoon now. So my friend Thomas, he will put like 2 to 3 spoons for 10 fish. And his fish, like, they're not unhealthy, but they're a lot bigger, you know, like wider, and and we talk about it. So he says he likes to feed his fish, you know, he wants to see them nice and fat. And I always think, no, fat too, you know, like it's like us, too fat is unhealthy. You know, if you're obese, then you have other underlying conditions that come with it. So I always try to feed, not underfeed, but I try to feed them more, not less than more, you know?
Yeah.
So what are the detrimental effects of overfeeding for fish? Like, what do you, in your opinion?
Well, maybe currently, if you know about coronavirus, what's going on, you know, currently in Belgium, they find out currently the people who are in the ICUs and intensive care units
Mm-hmm.
99 out of 10 are people with obesitas.
Same in Canada, yes.
The reason is the immune system is very weak with people with obesitas. The immune system is not working properly due to
Okay.
many different reasons. It's a mix, it's a kind of physical reaction in the body because the blood is not moving well. There is a lot of diabetes involved. The obesity is putting a lot of pressure on the body of the fish and it weakens the immune system.
Okay.
And the organs are getting fatty. So you have many different things going on. And people think, well, they have to be well fed, the fish. Well, this is not true. Look in nature.
Yeah.
You never see an obesitas fish swimming
No.
around. But it's people's mind, you know. It's people's idea to be
Okay.
feeding a lot and to be, it's like a wealthy feeling, but it's
Yes.
not good for the lifespan of the fish. It is not, and they're more prone to viral and bacterial infections. So we see it now in with the coronavirus epidemic that we unfortunately those people are punished for bad behavior. Punished, yes.
Fortunately, yes, yeah. Even
it is.
Majority of the people that have died, I think, were obese and they had issues.
Yeah.
Because of the obesity. So they were saying that the other day, and it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, my personal private doctor told me, Gerald, you know, nature teaches people lessons now. And I hope people learn from it because we are living in many parts unhealthy and we should think about our fish the same way. You know, it's always say, please feed a little bit less instead of a little bit more. The fish will not die. He is eating all the day, you know, there's moving around, you know, and if the fish has after 1 hour, you know, if there is still food in the tank, take it out. Take it out after 1 hour. It's polluting the water. It's excessive ballast to fish. It's also giving trouble to your filtration system, you know. It's causing a lot of other problem issues, not only the obesitas, but also a lot of pressure on your system, with the aquarium water. So that's a secondary problem.
So you can have like spikes of chemicals like nitrates and ammonia can spike.
Yeah, yes, your filter getting much easier dirty. And in a dirty filter, Malik, you know, in a dirty filter, there are less bacteria because the bacteria in the filter don't like dirt. The good biofiltering bacteria needs a clean filter so they can do a good job of deform or come I say, conforming, changing ammonia to nitrite and nitrate. So they need a clean, good filter to be active. In a dirty filter, forget it. And when you're feeding too much, the filter gets dirty. And sometimes those people got ammonia spikes by causing this thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense because I don't have that problem, but I have friends that say when I feed, I get ammonia spike like right after. I don't have that problem. Like my tanks are more cycle. I don't overfeed either. So these things I think play a big role.
Yeah, it's a combination of a poor filter, which is too small or too dirty, not well maintained, and overfeeding. So that's the spike. Yeah.
And my maintenance is very low because I don't feed a lot. Like I feed the appropriate amount, and I notice a big difference. And also with your food, I don't have to feed. Like with this really made a big difference for me because I pick up a can of BASSLEER food, like 600 grams, you know, and I have a can of Tetra Tropical Color Granules, 300 grams, same size can, but you know, your can has twice the weight. So each gram, it's actually food. It's not filler. Whereas it's 50% at least filler then because I'm putting in the water. My water gets dirty and filter gets dirty.
Well,
it makes
that's one of the disadvantages of our food. You have to feed less. So people use a long time or cans of food. So that's sometimes.
It lasts me almost a year, like, and I feed every day. I feed your food, and I'm feeding it to babies, the adults, and it's really, you know, it goes a long way. The one can. So
I can also recommend to your viewers, you know, not to buy too big cans or pots, but smaller ones, because well, the shelf life, you know, when it's open, it's 6 to 12 months. You know, it's not a problem as long as it's kept closed, out of the sun, and you don't make it wet. That's it.
Yes.
Don't put it in the refrigerator, but don't put it in a hot room or don't not on top of your aquarium where it's very hot of the lamp or the heater, but you can keep it easily well closed and not wet for 6 to 12 months. So, but sometimes people buy a big can for 3 years. Well, you know,
That's too
the
much.
quality goes down always, you know, but that's something I recommend. Better to buy if it's only a small expense, you know. Food is the cheapest medicine. It's the
It is.
cheapest medicine.
Yes.
It's food and medication when you use it properly. It's and avoiding a lot of headaches.
I think that's one of the reasons why we can't also clear customs, because your food is considered medicine,
Okay.
or has medical ingredients or something like that. And that's one of the things they were saying is because we can't get fish medicine in Canada, unfortunately.
And it's not medicine. That's the problem. People say it's medicine. No, they are plants. It's algae. It's
good
extract
food.
from. It is not allowed to put medicine inside.
Right.
But they have a medical action. It's like green tea has an action. Or,
Right.
you know, like chlorella. The Japanese eat a lot of chlorella tablets. It's a common product they use for health.
Right.
But it's not a medication. But you can say, well, the fish food helps to medicate the fish. Well, maybe I would better say it helps the fish to overcome disease, to prevent disease, and it helps to restore the fish during disease. But it's not a medication because that's not allowed.
Okay.
We have been using products. We cannot put antibiotics inside, no chemicals.
That's
We
great.
are under very severe control by the Food and Drug Administration in Belgium. You know, before I introduce a food on the market, I have to show many papers and documents and my testing results. And they say, okay, is it approved by the EU? And then I can put like acai, or like recently our latest one is the fuco, which is an extract of a marine algae. And I had to show papers. It's not an antibiotic. No, it's a natural product from the ocean, but it has the same activity as an antibiotic.
So this is the thing, and so it's not, it's healthy food is what it is. It's what fish needs, so that it doesn't have to be given antibiotics in the future.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't seem to, and you also make the food for fish farms, right?
Yes.
So
we sell it in big buckets for the farms. We don't sell in bags. We don't sell in bags because we don't like the way people store the bags. I've seen it in fish farm. We sell it in 10-liter buckets, you know, and so that's we're shipping a lot to Indonesia fish farms, to Rajanta, to Belen's fish farm. And
I see his stockpile of Bassleer food, like big containers. So yes, I said to myself when I saw the picture, I said, you know, if it's good for his food fish, it's good for my fish.
Well, that's nice.
You see the results. Like, I mean, I have so many baby fry, and they're breeding like wild, and I have no problems with the adult fish dying. They don't get sick. They don't get bloat. I don't think I lost the fish for bloat for more than a year now.
Wow.
You know, and one fish that died from bloat, she had bloat. She's about 10 years. It was a Loricaridae, and she came with the bloat, like it was an issue, and I knew what to do. I had treatment for it, but it reduced the amount of bloat she had. Like, she would usually get it every few months, but when I started feeding Bassleer food, I think she only got bloat maybe 2 or 3 times, and the third time she got it, I said, you know, she's really old. I'm not going to treat her this time. I'm just going to let her pass. And, you know, so that happened. But that's like, I mean, I have more than 150 Loricaridae, maybe almost 200 different fish, and I lose one fish for bloat in 1 year.
Wow.
It's not.
Yeah, but that's the fact of biology of nature, you know. Maybe the kidneys fail and then it starts bloating, you know. That's a good result.
With the other fish, with my own fish that I've had since they were babies, or like smaller since they were small, those fish are still young and they're doing great. I don't have any, like, you know, some of the fish 4 or 5 years old now, and you know, I don't see any issues at all. And so I'm really pleased with that. And the results with the breeding successes, they breed every few weeks, you know, no problems. My angel fish every 10 days laying eggs. My big pair is like over 7 years and they still breed.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's great.
Every 10 days to 14 days they're laying a clutch of eggs. So I mean, you see the results. Like, I've been in the hobby since I was a little kid, and I've kept so many fish, and I'm used to seeing fish live, you know, a certain amount of time and them dying. But now I'm actually seeing that my fish are living longer than normal like lifespan. So if they live for 3-5 years, now they're living 7 years or 6 years, you know, maybe, you know, so I'm seeing the difference. And also less diseases. I've noticed I don't have disease outbreaks anymore. Like, I mean, I do follow quarantine procedures, but even within the tanks, there's no like costia, like other little diseases that, you know, every once in a while will like come out. I didn't have any of those things, you know, and not any digestive diseases to report, like 0 digestive diseases. So
yeah, well, it's also the combination. You do a good health management of the system, of the filtration and the water changes, you know, it's the whole package. It's I hear. But are you then a professional? Is that your job? Is that the fish?
Right now, because of COVID, I'm not working. So yes, this is what I'm doing right now. So 2020 and this first bit of 2021. And I will continue to do this until, you know, we are still in lockdown, our city. So once things are better, you know, I might return back to work for a few days, but I think I'm going to do this, you know, as my main source of income because I enjoy it. It works for me, and I like what I do, and I get a lot more job satisfaction. You know, it's not as much money as my other job, maybe, but I can get to that point if I scale my business. You know, right now it's in my house, so if I can get it to a facility, so it's a process. You know, we're planning.
Yeah. Well, see what COVID gives you then as a positive change to giving more time for your fish.
Yes, honestly, I was very happy with having the break initially because my fish were, I had more time to dedicate to my fish, and I learned more about my fish. I learned what I was doing, which worked. I learned the things I didn't work. I got to do all that stuff, you know, in the last year and a half. So I'm really happy, you know, there's no complaints.
Okay, nice to hear, Malik. And I'm happy that you made that, also that progress here since you're a young kid, keeping fish and growing to this stage. You know, that's well, who knows what it brings in a couple of years, yeah?
Yeah, that is true.
But stay in close touch with Rashanta. He can help you a lot with if you have problems breathing. You know, we have so much expertise.
He's very helpful always, and he's such an inspiration. Him and his wife, Julia, they're both a huge inspiration because they breed the selective breed, they line breed, right? And I'm also into that. Like, so I also have like some special looking fish, and I like that. You know, like I'm more, I would say I'm a hobbyist, but I'm also good at what I do. So like I like to do what something similar to what they're doing, not to that scale maybe, but you know, I like line breeding fish. I like to create my own lines and stuff, you know. So they're very inspirational in that regard, and they always show me support. They like my pictures and my fish. So, and anytime I have a question, I send him a message. He always responds. So I'm really happy for that. Okay. And he's really good person. Yes.
All right. Okay, Malik. Any more questions comes up in your mind when we were chatting?
I mean, right now you basically covered everything that I wanted to know. I'm very happy with your products. Mostly this interview is for my viewers who are not using BASSLEER product because either they think it's too expensive and they think, oh, you know, this and that. But I actually realized that it's not, because I looked at the prices difference, and your food is actually cheaper than Tetra because you get twice as much food.
That's the thing.
The same price. So which is what people don't understand. It's you get two times the amount. It's just not, the marketing is not there. You know, the can is not bright red and colorful, and you're not trying to sell to the children. You're selling, you know, you're selling a real product. So that's what the difference is. There's no advertising. So a lot of people, they don't find the food unless we show them. So like that's one of the main reasons why I want to make the video with you in it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I want the people that watch my channel, that always ask me, what do I feed my fish? What should I feed my fish? Here it is. This is, you know, the food line, and you can pick what you want, and this works. And also for you to explain that it works for all the other Loricariids. That's a big thing, you know, because then I'm not just saying that it works for my fish. It's also working, you know, you also have done, you know, like, and other people have also, like Paul from Belgium, he uses it.
Okay.
Dr. Thomas, yes, they both, the questions are also from them, by the way.
Okay, nice to hear. So you'll be following this also.
Of course.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
I use it here. I have a few friends that breed zebra pelicos here that use it. Dr. Thomas also, and Rajanta from Balance Farm, they use it. So also Dr. Leandro Sosa in
Leandro,
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He uses it for his breeding facility. So I mean, this is it's almost like once you find out once people find out your food, they don't feed anything else. Like I asked these guys, do you feed anything else? They say sometimes I put a little bit of something else, but usually it's only this food. So it's good.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we're always looking for the high-end customer, not for the beginner hobbyist who has no idea what is good food. That's why we specialized in the market, also the pet shops. Only the pet shops who want to sell it are the ones which are special, who are looking for a kind of food which helps the needs of the fish, and not the price, and not the marketing or the big name. And that's to find our place in the market, our niche in the market was only possible because we were looking for the high-end customer, the people who have special fish, like you have with the Hippasis or Loricaridae, but also the discus breeders or the special guppy breeders, particularly to that end, because we don't want to go compete with Tetra. We have a different kind of food, or Serra. So
it's completely different food.
It's different.
Completely different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's like McDonald's versus gourmet home cooked meal, you know? Like your food is gourmet. Like I always think about it, you know, when I looked at the can size and I saw the weight difference, you know, so you're able to pack more nutrition into a less, you know, like more denser product. And so even in terms of like waste, you know, like if you're putting more crap into like things that are not palatable for your fish, this filler, it's creating more biological waste in your tank. Your water gets worse, you know. Like,
yeah, and that's the reason we had to make a granulate. That's the only way we could produce this kind of quality.
Okay.
If flake food is more difficult, you know, we have a flake, but it's more difficult. That's the problem, the production process. And
I don't like feeding flake to my fish because it goes everywhere. The fish don't eat it. Granulates is the way to go. I agree.
Okay, Malik, if you have any more questions coming in the future, in the coming weeks, coming days, I will be happy to answer them. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity.
I am so happy you did this with me. Thank you so much. And I am pretty sure everybody will be appreciative that watch it. And it's going to be very useful. And
thank you.
So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Well, then I say goodbye from Belgium.
Goodbye, Canada. And I like your 12-year-old Cardinals, huh?
Yes. Thank you much, sir. Thank you, Malik. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.